In this video, we're going to talk about some geometry applications and we're going to talk about proportions, which isn't really geometry, but we're going to talk about it anyway. So the first example will be a triangle angle sum kind of problem. The second two examples will be perimeter and area, and then for our final example, I will demonstrate a proportion. The first example is a triangle angle sum theorem problem, and I can tell because it's a triangle and the three angles are labeled there. So I know this falls in the category of triangle angle sum, and it says to solve for x. So the key piece that you need to know is that the triangle angle sum theorem says that the sum of the angles in a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. So when I add these three numbers together, I should get 180 degrees. I can make that into an equation. 10x plus 50 plus 80 equals 180. And then I just need to solve for x. Then I will combine like terms, combining 50 and 80 to make 10x plus 130 equals 180. Then I will use the subtraction property of equality to move the 130 over with the 180 so that my number terms are on the same side, making this side 50. And then I will finish by dividing by 10. X equals 5. Let's look at another geometric application. This is perimeter. The length of a rectangle is 5 meters more than the width. The perimeter is 66 meters. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. So dimensions means I need to find the length and the width. And the only thing I know is that the perimeter is 66. And some of you might be thinking, oh, rectangle, divide by 4. But that's if all four sides are equal. And since it's a rectangle, it's probably not that way, that all four sides are equal. In fact, it tells me that the length is 5 meters more than the width. So I'm going to draw a picture first. That's always good with geometry if they don't give you a picture, to draw a picture. And poof, through the power of technology, there's my picture. So it says the length is 5 meters more than the width. So if this is the width, then the length is 5 more than the width. So 5 more than is plus, 5 plus W equals L. So I put 5 plus W here. And it says the perimeter is 66 meters. So I can write an equation now because I know this side is 5 plus W, which means this side is also 5 plus W, and this side is W. And if I add all these sides together, remember perimeter means you add up all the sides. It's the distance around a perimeter. If I add those all up, it should equal 66. So it'll be W plus 5 plus W plus W plus 5 plus W. Poof, again, we have 5 plus W, or W, plus 5 plus W, plus W, plus 5 plus W. See, this is one side, 2, 3, 4 sides. And the total then is 66 meters. So this equation equals 66. Now we have an equation we can solve. Combining like terms, we have 1, 2, 3, 4W plus 10 from the 5 plus 5. Equals 66. Using the subtraction property of equality, we can remove the 10 from one side and from the other side of the equal sign, which leaves us with 4W. I'm going to write it up here. 4W equals 56. And then divide both sides by 4, and we have W equals 14. Now we know one dimension. It says find the dimensions. So we know this one is 14. W is 14. The length is 5 more than the width. So the length must be 5 plus 14, which is 19. You can always check this by finding the perimeter again with your new values. If you add 14 plus 19 plus 14 plus 19, does equal 66. So you are finished. Our last example is proportions. Shivani is excited because her grandfather in New Orleans is going to teach her how to make pralines. He uses 2 cups of pecans to make 12 pralines. How many cups of pecans would he need for 36 pralines? And this is a proportion problem, and you can recognize that it's a proportional problem because there is something that I can multiply times the number of pecans to get the number of pralines. And of course, hopefully you figured that out while I was saying it. It's 6, right? 6 times 2 cups of pecans equals pralines. Now, if it's not proportional, there'll be something that you multiply plus something that you add or something that you subtract. So there'll be another term that will go into figuring out the pralines. But with this kind of situation, hopefully you can see all I would do is multiply the pecans by 6 to get the pralines. And so that's what makes it a proportion. And so once you determine that it's a proportion, you can write the equation. And it looks like this. 2 cups per 12 pralines equals we don't know how many cups times 36 pralines. And now you have an equation that you can cross multiply and solve. You'll multiply 2 times 36 and 12 times x. And of course, that's 72 equals 12x. And divide by 12 to get x equals 6. Sorry, it gets cut off there at the bottom. It's 6 cups of pecans for 36 pralines.